But now it seems in the last 2 days, it's they've sold the highest price penthouse in all of the Middle East for $150 million. Of course, it's in the Bugatti building. This only happens in Dubai, where they have branded buildings after car brands, right? It's pretty crazy. But they're actually building this skyscraper. It actually looks gorgeous. It's not finished yet. And yet they've sold, I think, the top floor for 550 million dirhams, which is about $150 million. And so I want to talk about that today. I want to talk about how Dubai real estate is blowing up. And I want to talk about how you can make a lot of money doing that, because this is something that we've been working on behind the scenes for the last 4 or 5 years. And this is something that we've just recently launched. And we're pretty excited about the whole thing. And a lot of you are finding that this is a perfect solution for a way for you to invest in something that you would probably normally never get access to. Can I get a show of hands? How many people have actually been to Dubai here? Isn't that weird? I kind of assume it's like crypto because I'm in it, that I assume everybody's in it and I'm going to Dubai, but I realize how few people have been to Dubai. And I guess that means you probably would never have access to the real estate market if you haven't actually been there. And so now it's something that we can give you access to. And I don't know if anybody here has invested in real estate before, but it can get a little messy. You might be trying to buy houses and hold houses and rent houses and flip houses, and you might find yourself fixing toilets on the weekend. And that doesn't sound like my way of getting wealthy. And so what we've decided to create is a plug and play system. And I want to talk about that today. So I'm going to jump in here. Last chance to turn cameras on. Mark has a bad habit of actually throwing people out. If your cameras aren't on, so please turn your camera on and give us your actual real name. And here's the presentation, folks. The Dubai Bugatti penthouse sells for a record 150 million US dollars as we're seeing these luxury prices boom. And of course, this is all part of our luxury property investment circle. Before we get started, I just want to say this presentation is really for information purposes only. It's not intended to be investment advice. If you're looking for that, please go find a professional. I also want to give you this free gift, which is how to invest in luxury Dubai real estate in 3 easy steps. It's a great video. I'll give you a link at the end. So if you stay with me for about 30 minutes, then you're going to get here and it's going to be no problem. And I also just want to start. Now, some of you probably know who I am, but I think I'll go ahead and just give you the once over anyways. A lot of you know that I started my career on Wall Street in 1993. I was the ripe age of 22 years old, and they gave me access to I think it was like a $500 billion trading book. And I remember when I got to the desk, they gave me two phones, a whole desk of buttons that were direct lines to Chicago Board of Trade and all these brokers. And they said, go. And I remember looking at them like, you do realize I'm 22 years old, that I just got out of college, and you're asking me to literally trade, huge chunks of capital and risk, but they gave it to me. And the next 15 years, I was living my dream. My dream was the movie Wall Street, and I was Bud Fox in my dream. And, it took me a little while to figure it out. But after I did, it was a place where you could make a lot of money. And I did it. But after 15 years, I got sick of it. I didn't find it interesting and creative. And I think some part of me deep down inside wanted to be of service to other people. And let's be honest, when you're in banking, making a boatload of money for yourself, the last thing you are is in service to a lot of other people. And so I started London Real. This was 15 years ago in 2011. And I started interviewing some of the greatest minds on the planet. I mean, really, it's just incredible if I think about the people I've spoken to, over 1,000 of the greatest minds on the planet. And about 5 years ago, I started traveling to Dubai for crypto, because we've now invested almost $25 million into 100 different crypto blockchain startups, some with some massive returns, like 40 times our money, 30 times our money, 20 times our money. And I started really getting a feel for Dubai. I'd actually been there back in 07. And I had visited Beirut once. I'd been to Israel to make a movie with Ido Portal. And that's about all that I knew about the region. Didn't know much, to be honest. And I immediately fell in love with the place. I just love the vibe more than anything. It's just a great vibe. It's full of hustlers, connectors, and everybody wants to help. It's a friendly place. It's a gorgeous place. It's a clean place. It's a safe place. And it's a beautiful place. And so I really started enjoying it. And so now I'm the guy who goes to Dubai, and I'm the broadcaster with 1 billion views and 5 million followers who ran for mayor a couple of times. And we got a lot of juice in Dubai. In fact, I get recognize more on the street in Dubai than I do in London, which is odd. Now, of course, over the past 15 years, I've also been lucky to study alongside some of the greatest minds in real estate. Now, this is Grant Cardone. He's actually a good friend of mine, and I know him and his wife, Elena, and I know his pilot, Ryan, and I know a bunch of the crew over there. And Grant's a legend. And I've always said that Grant's a legend. And a lot of people out there try to pull Grant down and try to hate on Grant. But Grant's always been nothing but completely genuine, completely vulnerable, completely kind to me. And he's taught me a lot. And he continues to evolve. And he's just really a great inspiration. When I met Grant, he didn't even have $1 billion of assets. And now he's at 5 billion plus. And now he's doing deals with Bitcoin and real estate. He's always on the cutting edge, and he's on another level. And so it's been great to be around people like him. Also, I mean, Robert Kiyosaki, the legend, author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, has also been a mentor of mine. He texts me all the time because he's in Arizona. So he can text me and, you know, it's 8 in the morning, nighttime, and he's just going to bed. And Robert is also a legend in real estate. This guy knew how to invest, and he continues to invest and really speak the truth. Of course, a lot of you know Jim Rickards. He wrote a book called Currency Wars. And Jim is a really intelligent global financial strategist. And he taught me a lot as well about how to make a lot of money. And of course, we all know the $1 trillion man, Dan Pena. And Dan was actually just here in the studio. We're dropping his most recent trailer, I think tomorrow. And, you know, Dan is now responsible for $8.6 trillion of net worth. Isn't that crazy, Mark? He's no longer the $1 trillion man. He's soon going to be the $10 trillion man, right? And so, you know, when I met him, he was the $50 billion man. And so, you know, Dan continues to impress, and obviously he's been a huge mentor of mine. So honestly, I've been blessed to be mentored by some of the best. And I take every single one of those lessons and I bring it into our property investment circle, which I'll talk about shortly. Folks, why Dubai? Let's just think about it. Why Dubai? Well, first of all, it's the #1 destination for global wealth migration. And I'm going to show you a slide in the next slide that's going to blow your mind, because all the rich people are moving to Dubai, and they're moving out of places like London, right? Because they're raising the taxes, and you get your watch stolen, and your healthcare system's broken. And, you know, I mean, should I continue? Like, that's enough, I think, right? And so everyone's moving there, and guess what they want? They want luxury properties. Next thing is there's a severe shortage of what we call turnkey luxury supply. That means ready to move in high-end luxury, right? If I'm worth $100 million and I'm going to go to Dubai, I'm not going to go rent at a Motel 6. I'm not going to go to an Airbnb, and I'm sure as hell not going to go to a 10-year-old villa on the Palm. It's got to be top notch, and I'm willing to pay top dollar, because also everybody has to flex on everybody in Dubai, and it's hard to flex in Dubai. Whereas my buddy Carl Moon, who's a Bitcoin billionaire, he says, Brian, in Dubai, there's always somebody with a bigger one. And that's well said. So, but everybody's trying to flex anyways. And so everybody wants to have the best stuff, which is great for us. And of course, it's a market built for high performance returns. There is zero personal tax. What do you think of that, Richard? Zero personal tax. Can you imagine, Richard? Zero personal tax. There is zero capital gains tax, right? So if you buy a house and it goes up by $500,000 in value, you get that money, and the government doesn't take it from you in exchange for getting stabbed on the streets, Richard, right? And so those are big possibilities. Also, rapid economic growth, because everyone moves there, and it's a cash-rich international buyer haven. I always say that Dubai is anti-fragile. What does that mean? Well, when you stress the world, Dubai gets stronger. And we saw this happen in COVID. When the world got stressed, everyone moved to Dubai. When Russia invaded Ukraine, all the Russians moved to Dubai, all the Ukrainians moved to Dubai. When Israel got attacked on October 7th, everybody moved to Dubai. And when the UK raised taxes last year for non-domiciled wealthy people, they all moved to Dubai. And trust me, there's going to be more global shocks, and each one is going to lead to a massive increase in the people in Dubai, period. All right. And I encourage you all to go there. And if you become part of our investment circle, we have a April 27th investor day where you can come with me and you can see some of our properties, and you can see why this is going to be the future. Folks, this is the diagram I was talking about. This will blow you away. Look at the right-hand side. This is the global millionaire migration in 2025, right? And you can see at the very top, United Arab Emirates got the most millionaires in the world at 9,500. United States behind, Italy behind that, because they have kind of a favorable tax policy. Look all the way down at the bottom. What do we see there, Mark? We see the good old Great Britain. And again, I love this country, I always will, but let's just be honest, all right? 16,500 millionaires left this country, and it'll be more next year and more next year and more next year. And what's the solution here? Let's raise taxes as fast as we can to get the last bit of wealth before they leave. And there ain't nothing you can do about it, right? I always say you got to vote with your feet. You know, if you really have a problem with something, show them. And I'm going to show them, because in about 13 days, I'm flying to Dubai for the next 4 or 5 months to source property deals that are going to make us all rich. And so this is it, folks. And you can see, you know, the big numbers. Global capital shift, 142,000 millionaires are going to relocate worldwide. UAE ranks #1 globally. And the core message is that Dubai combines tax freedom, security, infrastructure, and lifestyle, and making it a clear winner. And all these people want houses. So what is a luxury transformation project? Well, what it is, it's a target upgrade of a premium property. All right. So say I go to the Palm Jumeirah. That's that beautiful man-made island that they built, I think about 15, 20 years ago. Now, look, a lot of those started off as luxury houses, but now they're 10, 15 years old. Not good enough. What we do with the luxury transformation is we go in and we upgrade it. No structural improvements. It's all cosmetic, but it's deep cosmetic. Could be a new pool. Could be take out a wall, take out a couple things like that. But like, you're not rebuilding anything. And then you basically make it super brand new and you put it back on the market. And so the turnaround times are very, very fast. Sometimes as short as 11 months. The longest project I've seen, I think, is 18 months. So you can have quick turnarounds and quick profits as well. Again, it's designed to match what global buyers want. And there's a strategy to unlock significant value. As I mentioned, quick turnaround times and these high performance returns. And I'll show you an example shortly where you'll know what I'm talking about. Folks, we're seeing 40 to 90% returns on these projects. Again, I worked on Wall Street for 15 years. You don't see those returns. You just don't. You don't see those returns. And so this is something you better pay attention to. It's probably not going to be here forever, but right now it is. Folks, this is a case study. It was an ultra luxury villa redevelopment. And this is exactly what we're doing as well. The home was acquired for $7.1 million. They renovated it for $6.3 million. Total investment cost was $13.4 million. After the renovation, put it on the market, sold it for $25.9 million. In 12 months, made a 93.8% return. That is no joke. And you get your cash back in your account, and you can do whatever you want with it. You can invest into another project and compound it again. If you double your money and double your money over 2 years, you've just quadrupled your money. If you do it again over 3 years, you've just 8x'd your money. If you do it again over 4 years, you've 16x'd your money. So this can get really interesting really, really fast. Folks, here's the big news. Again, this transaction today of that Bugatti penthouse marks the highest price per square foot ever recorded in Dubai's Business Day, which is an area just north of the Burj Khalifa, which is the tallest building in the world. And so $3,172 per square foot, that's pricey, but this building is gorgeous, and I kind of see why. This is happening. We also see that luxury property prices are set to rise next year as $10 million home sales, which is what we're going after, surge 54% in Q3. The truth is there's just not enough supply. And this is actually what you're looking at is my view from where I stay at the Address Beach Resort. And you look at it, that's the Palm, and that's a bunch of things that are being developed at the Palm. That big hotel in the background is called the Royal Atlantis. It's probably the most gorgeous hotel you'll ever go to in your life. His Highness himself, the ruler, was responsible for a lot of the designs. It really is the showcase hotel for Dubai. Folks, this is happening at record pace. Of course, we've read recently that there is this luxury real estate boom, and Dubai now outshines London, Miami, and Phuket. All right. Now, outshining Miami is no joke, okay, because there's some bling down there. Obviously, London has a lot of old school money, but Dubai is actually outshining that. And of course, we know why. It's residency visas to big capital returns. That's why this works really well. And of course, one more figure, Dubai real estate sales just passed $17.5 billion in November, and real estate transactions jumped almost 31%. And there's strong demand across what? Apartments and villas. No surprise. So we know this is happening. The question is, how are you going to partake in it? You're probably not going to go to Dubai and buy a luxury villa for $20 million. No problem. I get it. But why not get a piece of those returns? Our latest deal is something that's super exciting with a really high rate of return. It's happening in a place called Emirate Hills, which is slightly off the beach, but it's where people want to be when they want to be around greenery and they have these amazing communities. Again, it's a premium transformation project. It's filling up quickly. It's in a high demand location. We're projecting a 60 to 80% return. That's incredible. And that deal is filling up right now as we speak to members that have joined us in the last 3 days. Folks, I've been around the block. These types of returns are incredible. Also, each one of these deals is secured with property ownership that's owned by you through a special purpose vehicle. And so it's not like you have no assets. You actually own the property itself. And so there's just limited risk. Of course, there's risk in any deal, but there's limited risk because you own part of those assets. And so what I see is an incredible upside for the risk that were presented here. So how does London Real get access to these deals? The truth is it's not my pretty smile and it's not my flashy suits. It's our media platform. London Real, 15 years, 1 billion views. These companies want our media exposure for their projects, for their resale values. Imagine if I put the home on my Instagram when it's going for sale. Maybe I can get us an extra 10 or 20%. That's real money back in your pocket when you use our media platform to help you get wealthy. This is exactly what we've been doing in crypto for 5 years. We use our media platform to feature the blockchain protocols we've invested in, and that actually makes us more money in the long term. Does that make sense, Ram and Christopher and Margaret? Margaret's joining us. Margaret, welcome. She just joined the property circle this morning. So great to see you, Margaret. Great to have you here. I think you got my email, so hopefully you're in the investment portal and you can see some of these beautiful projects. But Margaret knows what's up. She's also finishing our Crypto and DeFi Academy as well. But, you know, Margaret, we use this media platform we have in order to help us in this circle make more money. And it's really something that the projects want. And let's be honest, it's the only reason we're getting you access to these deals. And so we think that success is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. For 15 years, we've been creating a media channel, and this is the opportunity. The question is do you want to be a part of it? Folks, I love my Drake meme because a lot of you have felt like Drake on the top. You've tried to invest in property on your own, and you've had a bad experience. Like I said, maybe you're fixing toilets on weekends. Maybe you're traveling to weird countries and trying to buy the property and deal with the laws and the customs and the permits. I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't have time for that. I got 2 boys to raise. I got a company, and I got to work out every day, and that's all I pretty much do. And I need help when it comes to this. And so there's a better way of doing this. You can invest with myself and London Real and get incredible gains through a completely transparent structure that requires no time of yours to process it. And it's called the Luxury Property Investment Circle. I've never been more excited about this, and Mark can tell you because Mark is actually our investment circle manager, and he's the guy that's on the inside. And Mark, am I wrong? Like, this is probably the hottest thing we've launched in the history of London Real. Like, the phone's going off the hook. Mark is booked up. And again, by the way, you can speak to Mark and he'll put his, first of all, he'll drop the link in here if you want to come on this website above, if you want to apply, and that's londonreal.tv/Dubai. But Mark is really busy, but you can always book a call with him or try to, and he can walk you through any questions you have. Folks, I believe this is the most powerful money-making opportunity I've ever seen. I've never seen something with such low risk have such high return. And what happens with these things is they don't last long. That's the truth. Maybe we got 3 years, 4 years, maybe with the media company 5 years, and then I think everybody's going to know about this. So I would get in now and not expect it to be there later. There'll always be real estate in Dubai, but I don't think you'll get these kinds of returns. And so we have a simple application process. Go to londonreal.tv/Dubai, fill out your application. Margaret did this a few days ago, and then boom, we read your application. If we think you have what it takes to be a part of this group, we accept you, and then you have to join. It's that simple. That's what Margaret did today, as I mentioned. And all it asks is first name, last name, a band of amount of money that you want to invest, and of course, just 10 to 20 words about why you want to join the circle. Obviously, you're already on our email list, probably. We probably know a lot about you and the episodes you've watched over the years and how long you've been with us, and all that really makes a part in our decision. But you can go ahead and submit that application now. We'll usually get back within 24 to 48 hours. Folks, look, a lot of you know I ran to be London mayor in 21 and in 24. I ran on a pro freedom of speech platform and a pro crypto platform. And I did it because I love this city. I'll always love London. But the truth is it's broken. It's broken. And the future is in a place like Dubai. And that's why I'm spending a lot of time there. And that's why I'm investing my time and my capital. And that's why, like I said, I'm moving there for the next 4 or 5 months right after Christmas. because I know that it's the future. I've also set up our studios there. This is London Real in Dubai with our studios. The flags are a little different here than in London, but it's the same vibe, same conversations, and we go deep on people. This is Dr. Marwan Al-Zaruni, who is an Emirati who actually gave me my golden visa because of who I am. He said, Brian, we want people like Brian Rose in Dubai because you come here, you bring eyeballs, you bring positive energy. We want you here. Here's a golden visa. I didn't have to buy anything. I didn't have to invest anything. I didn't have to pay anything. Man, I like a place like that. I don't think I've ever gotten a call from anybody in the UK that said, Brian, thank you for what you do. Thank you for naming your show London Real. Thank you for running for mayor and serving publicly. Not a single call I got to do that. And so I'll be honest, it's nice to be appreciated and it's nice to be part of something that's going up. Of course, while I'm there, I interview some of the top names. This is Uni Wong. She's a big crypto influencer. This is Carl Moon. He's a Bitcoin billionaire, drives around in his Bugatti. And this is Chris Crypto. He actually owns, or he's living in one of the villas on the Palm as well. So, he knows how to live in some style. Folks, right now we're investing over $3 million into luxury refurbished deals this quarter. You can be a part of it. It's that simple. All you have to do is pull the trigger. Now, of course, a lot of you know London Real Ventures is the world's first media-powered investment firm. For the past 5 years, we've used this to power our investments in blockchain, and now we're going to use this to power our investments in high-end luxury real estate transformations. And this has never been done before in history. No one's ever taken a 15-year media company with 1 billion views and 5 million subscribers and combined it with a venture capital firm with 25, 50, $100 million in capital. You put these two things together and magic happens. And the magic looks like this. These are our investments in the blockchain, a portfolio of future $2, $3, $4, $5 billion tech companies that are going to make all of my members absolutely filthy rich. And let me be clear, that's my goal. I'm here to make you filthy rich. All right. I spent 15 years of my life making myself rich and it made me miserable. But when I make my family rich, I think it's a lot of fun. And so it's much more fun doing this. And again, it's also my way to give a little something back to Dubai and be part of building it as well. Folks, you've seen our returns in crypto. They're off the charts. Okay. This is Skillful AI. We did a 20x on this at launch and made my group a $4 million profit. This is Shrapnel. We did a $5 million profit in 20 days with this investment. This is Mochaverse, and here I am with a billionaire chairman named Yat Su of Animoca Brands. This was up 20x on the launch. And of course, this is Story Protocol, our big winner that's up 42x. One of our members, Jose, who I think you might be talking with today, Mark, he put in 50K on this deal, and he's worth $2 million on this one deal alone. All right, so we have a history of making a lot of money, and now we're going to do it in the property circle. And this is our $1 billion fund we've invested in once, and we're now putting $1 million back into this fund. Dan's made us a 4x. I think it's going to go up to 8x by the time it's done and make us a whole lot of money in the process. And so we've got a track record of doing this. We're pretty good at it, and we want to just do it even more. Folks, one of the reasons we win is we invest alongside the biggest names. These are $10 billion funds, and that's one of the reasons we're so successful. We're going to do the same thing in real estate. And of course, in the blockchain, we've now invested over $23 million into over 100 different deals. It's pretty impressive. We're actually bigger than most venture capital firms right now. Very experienced in this. And of course, I've been voted Best Venture Capitalist of the Year. I just received this award in Singapore recently. I also was given a Lifetime Achievement Award by the Global Family Office Investment Summit for all of our incredible returns and the media we've created. And of course, we're now famous in Dubai because it's not often you see a 54-year-old guy lace up the gloves and have to teach these young punks a few lessons. And so I'm getting a little famous, maybe infamous in Dubai. But look, this only helps us. The bigger my profile is, the better deals I can get for you. So how can we maximize our investment returns? Let's really talk about this. And I want you to really pay attention here because this has to do with you and your future wealth. Well, Ray Dalio, one of the greatest investors of all time, says diversification is the holy grail of investment. What does he mean? You want to hold different types of assets in your portfolios that are not correlated with each other. That's how you maximize returns over time. It's been mathematically proven. And this is the portfolio of a typical member inside our London Real Ventures platform. They typically have about 20% in crypto, about 30% in real estate, about 20% in fixed income, government bonds, corporate bonds, 15% in equities. Maybe they have some tech stocks, and about 15% in cash. Does anybody's portfolio look like this a little bit? It's it's probably not far from the normal person. You got some stocks, maybe you got a property, maybe you got some gold, maybe you have some cash, that kind of thing. And so all I'm asking for people to do is to basically just think about your real estate part of that portfolio. I think this goes hand in hand with crypto. Crypto is high risk, high yield. Real estate is more medium risk and medium yield by comparison. Now, still 40 to 90% returns is high yield, except the crypto bros are thinking, 42x. And so it's just a non-correlated asset that can be part of a portfolio. And I think every portfolio needs both real estate and crypto, and maybe some stocks and some bonds as well to round it all out. Folks, we think the greatest way to predict the future is just to go out there and create it. I walk around London, I hear everybody complaining. Oh, they're raising our taxes. Unemployment rate went to a new high recently. They're complaining about the Labour Party. It's like, guys, stop it. Go create your future. We're going to go make a boatload of money in Dubai for my London real family around the world. And I could care less of who's in office. I could care less what the inflation rate is. I could care less about any of this stuff because it doesn't matter. All that matters is what you're willing to go out there and create. And we're going to create wealth. Folks, here I am sitting down with Ben Bhandari. I was doing this in Dubai about 3-4 weeks ago. And he is basically Dubai's top real estate broker. He's been there 20 years. He's considered the best of the best. He's also the star of the new hit television series, $1 Million Listing UAE. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever watched one of these. There's one in New York City. There's one in San Francisco. There's one in LA. And Ben brought the franchise for the first time to the UAE, and they just dropped their second season. There's billboards all over Dubai of Ben, and he's become a good friend, and he's a key person for us to know in the real estate industry. And here he is for the poster, and you can see it, $1 Million Listing UAE Season 2 lands as Dubai's record property boom takes center stage. Now, look, I don't know if you watched this show before. It's basically a bunch of luxury property porn and a bunch of real estate brokers stabbing each other in the back, causing drama. Have you watched one of these things before, Christopher or Margaret or Richard? Right? It's not exactly the way I spend my time, but it gets a lot of eyeballs on these properties, and it's probably going to help. And so I want to play for you a short video. When I asked Ben point blank why Dubai is hot. Now, Ben's actually not from there. He's from Toronto, and he moved there in 2002. And in 2008, there was the global market crisis, the bank crisis and the mortgage crisis, and Dubai got really, really bad. And Ben had a choice. He could have moved back home and become a pizza delivery guy, or he could have stuck it out, and he stuck it out. And he really created now one of the biggest brokerage firms in Dubai. And here's Ben talking about why Dubai.
How did Dubai become one of the top 5 real estate markets in the world?
There's many factors. The safety and the security is next level. You won't find it anywhere in the world. The leadership had a vision to basically attract foreign investment, bring basically expats here, and to basically expand the culture, the tourism, and the city itself. And they've done a great job. I mean, I've seen it all right from the beginning, from 2002 up until today. You have to come here, you have to see it, you have to experience it to believe it.
And we're seeing a lot of billionaires and a lot of other high net worth people bring their families here, invest in properties.
Everybody's looking to come here. Everyone's looking to move here. The money pours in because of the safety, because of the security, because of the stability.
All right, that's Ben, and you can check him on $1 Million Listing. Again, that safety, that security, that stability, that monarchy with this long-term 100-year plan. I mean, these things cannot be underestimated. When I was running for mayor, I could see the 4-year cycle, and I could see how nothing was ever going to get done in this city. Because here's the truth: if I had accomplished things in the mayor of London in my 4-year term, none of it would have been actually realized until the next term. And so the next mayor would have taken credit for everything I did. Now, I was actually okay with that, but most people aren't. And so nobody wants to build for the long term. And so I don't know, these 4-year election cycles, I think they really need to be rethought, or Western governments are going to keep going down. Folks, here are my takeaways from Ben. Dubai has safety and security. Does London? Does New York City? No. Leadership attracts investment. We see rulers with a long-term vision who are willing to invest in infrastructure. The whole city is digitized. The whole city, right? They put big money into infrastructure projects like the tallest building in the world, like the Palm Jumeirah, and they stay on deadline. I've never seen a government stay on deadline. Zero personal taxes, zero capital gains taxes, and it's the new playground for the wealthy and everybody in between. Honestly, if you're an Uber driver or you're a Deliveroo driver, you're coming from a place, whether it's Pakistan or Sri Lanka or wherever, and guess what? Dubai is going to get you more money. It's going to be a safer place to raise your family. And so everybody in Dubai is choosing it because it's a better option for them. And there's something nice about being in a place where everybody chooses to be there. When I walk around London, at least half the people, they do not choose to be here. And after a while, the vibe starts to change. So how do we create outsized returns in real estate? It's about deal flow, folks. That's how we're going to get you those 40, 60, 70, 80, 90% returns. It's about us getting the proper transformation projects and getting you in them before they disappear. Now, I had one deal I was working on last week. I found out today it's been filled, okay? Some whale came in and filled it. So that's gone, unfortunately. I got to find another one, but that's okay. But I just want you to know these things move a lot faster even than crypto deals. So just FYI. And of course, this is what I've been doing the last 5 years. I've been traveling to Dubai, building relationships with everybody in that city, from government workers to crypto people to lawyers, you name it, I'm there, influencers. And this is me with many of those people. This is me with CZ, who runs Binance, worth a couple $100 billion. This is me actually premiering our film, We Will Not Be Silenced, in Dubai. Isn't that crazy we did that? Yep, we did. Now it's on YouTube, going viral, 250,000 views. Thank you very much. And this is me on stage interviewing some of the biggest names. And so I really have this big relationship. And this is what I do. I've been traveling the world the last few years, building relationships with people in order to get the deals that are going to make you extremely wealthy. Folks, if you want to win in this space, you have to invest with the best. What does that mean? Well, you have to have incredible deals like this. Now, this is just one of the deals we're looking at right now. And I mean, you can see in this red circle, the kind of returns they're projecting. The low end is like 78%. The high end is 100% return. You're not going to get this anywhere else. But of course, you also have to understand the financial tools. And what makes this special is the SPV. What's an SPV, Brian? I don't know what you're talking about. Well, an SPV is a legal structure that holds a property inside of its own entity. So the directors, you as an owner, directly own the asset, right? You're not hoping or praying that some developer actually gives you the property. It also isolates the risk from your personal wealth. You have no personal liability. Also, it's good for taxation, right? It can separate that into a Dubai entity. It's a ring-fence structure, provides stronger legal protection, cleaner tax treatment. Of course, it's easier for us to get financing and do partnerships. This is the key. Every deal combines an SPV. So how do you create generational wealth? You got to pull the trigger, folks, right? That's what this is all about. If you sit on the sidelines, you're going to watch another great opportunity pass you by. Lord knows probably a lot of you have. We just missed a deal because we waited 5 days. Okay. Now Margaret's on board and a bunch of new members are on and they're starting to look at our current deal. That might go too. So let's just move quick, and that's what we're going to do. Folks, as I said, your timing matters. A problem with SPVs is once they're filled, they cannot be expanded. Think about it. Once we have raised the amount of money for the property and the refurbishments, we don't need $1 more. It's just going to actually hurt our returns. So it's closed. It's unlike crypto where they're raising 200 grand and they could raise 400 grand, or 2 million, they could raise 3 million. This is a capped exposure. Of course, early investors get priority, deals close fast, and once allocations is gone, they're gone. Again, I want to stress this is for serious investors only who want access. This isn't theory. This isn't a course. This is access to deals. I think everyone understands real estate. Of course, we're here to help you understand the nuances, but I'm about providing access to these deals. You probably never even knew these were going on. Even if you lived in Dubai, you didn't know these were going on. And I'm giving you access to something that most of the world is walking around totally oblivious to. Again, we have audited outcomes, transparency, and access to real opportunities. So you can apply now. It's a private membership. It's a premium opportunity. It's a chance to build real wealth, and you can start with as little as a $10,000 investment. And of course, Mark will drop the link in the chat. It's www.londonreal.tv/Dubai. But also, we've got a bunch of strong members. We got 150 people that have been investing alongside of us in the investment club, and we got tons of people coming in this property circle. People like Tigran, he's one of America's top criminal defense attorneys. And he said, inside, you're surrounded by a great group of people you get to learn from. Plus, you get to have access to Brian Rose, who is truly an amazing individual. Well said, Tigran. But I love Tigran. He's amazing. I think he's invested in every crypto deal. And he's also a very talented lawyer and a very talented crypto lawyer as well. This is Carol. She says, if you don't take action, then nothing will happen because there's no creativity when you're in survival mode. I love this. You know, a lot of us just sit back and wait for things to happen. If you think your company or your government is going to take care of you in your old age when you have no money, good luck with that, right? Think again, you're going to have to take action on your own. And of course, this is Chris. And he says, I never imagined that I would get this kind of access. The deal flow is beyond what I expected. Joining was the best decision I ever made. And again, we got another 150 people here. Will tell you all the same thing. They love being in here. They love the access. It's something very, very, very special. Folks, I'd say apply now. The allocation of these current 2 deals is going to go fast. Don't wait. Your future wealth creation is here. And again, you can invest alongside the smartest money in the business. If you go to LearnReal.tv/Dubai, you can go ahead and make that application. They literally get texted to my phone. So I'll read it whatever time of day. I'm going to read your application. And then I'm going to see, who is this? Oh, that's Margaret from our Crypto and DeFi Academy. I like Margaret. Hey, Mark, what do you think of her? Mark's like, yeah, I think she'd be a great addition. Boom, she's in. It's that simple. So we'll read your application and we'll give you a yes and we'll give you a no. If I don't think you're going to be good in our club, I'll tell you no, because I'm not having some random person in here ruin the vibe of my club. So you've got to be someone who shares our values, who we want to be with for the next 5-10 years, and who is really committed to this opportunity. Folks, here's the bonus. If you go to LearnReal.tv/replay, you'll get my video on how to invest in luxury Dubai real estate in 3 easy steps. Go watch that at your leisure. But like I said, you definitely want to go apply right now. It doesn't cost anything to apply, so go ahead and do it. Folks, that's it. I'd love to answer some questions for you. All you have to do is just DM me here in the chat. I think it's pretty easy. If you go into the Zoom chat and you click on my icon with the red suit, you can actually send me a question. So I'll give you a chance to do all that if you want. In the meantime, we got Mark here. And again, Mark really he's like our manager for the Property Circle. And a lot of you have talked to Mark. I know Margaret did and a few other people, but he's also the guy you can get on a phone call really, really quickly and talk to. So Mark, just wanted to get your thoughts. And I don't know, also, Mark, I'll get you unmuted. I mean, Mark, are you surprised with how hot this product is? Or did you think from the beginning that this was going to be our most popular product ever?
I think looking at all of the different investments we've done, looking at the trajectory we've done over the last 5 years being in Dubai, and really listening to the feedback from everyone that joins our masterclass in terms of what they wanted. I think I mentioned it earlier, faster return, a more secure investment. And I think that's being reflected in applications and the degree of and the amount of members that we have in the circle already. So I think it works. It wins from a financial aspect, and you're getting people inside the room where these opportunities exist. And I think that's the major thing. I always ask people, if Brian didn't present this opportunity to you, would you have a chance to invest in Dubai on your own? And usually the answer is no. So it's something to think about, and the transparency is great. One of the things I complimented you on was the EY audited financial reporting. I think that's huge and demonstrates a lot of confidence with everyone involved. So it's a no-brainer for me, but that's why we're here, to talk to everyone and make sure they understand and are able to step over their inhibitions that they may have. That's what it is, full transparency.
Yeah, really well said, Mark. I love that. And I love an SPV. I love that it's audited. And, in the world of real estate, a lot of times you just don't get that. Also, when you're going to a new market like Dubai, where maybe the laws aren't as clear as they are in a London or a New York City, that's another big question mark. So if we can bypass all of that and keep it transparent. Also, we're working alongside the biggest names there who have strong reputations to keep, and they're doing business with us who have a strong reputation and a large platform. So it's in everyone's interest to be completely above board and transparent and pass through all those gains. And that's exactly what's going to happen. And so it's just a great, rare opportunity. It's something I've been kicking around for the last few years, but when I saw this specific niche and a few of these deals, I knew it was time to release this to the community, and this timing's perfect. And so if any of you want to reach out to Mark, he put his email in the chat. It's mark.andrew@LearnReal.tv. The best thing to do is to go to LearnReal.tv/Dubai and apply. It'll literally take you 20 seconds and go from there. The page has a great video that describes what we're doing, and you can just learn a little bit more about what's going on. And that's the best way to go from here. And so I just want to say thank you to everybody, wishing everybody happy holidays, and just saying, what are you prepared to do in 2026? Is it going to be another year like 25 or 24 where you didn't maybe hit the targets you wanted? Or is this the year you transform? Because to quote a great mentor of mine who once said, Brian, there are not many problems that you can't solve with money. And that's a great way to look at it. Now, I'm not saying it's going to bring you happiness. I'm not saying it's going to solve all your problems, but there's not many problems that money can't solve, right? And so when you have that on board, just life gets easier and you can concentrate on things that matter, which is your goals, your contribution to the world, your family, your business. I think that's really important. So I just want to say thanks. Great to see everybody here. So many familiar faces. Congratulations to Margaret for joining. Richard, great to see you. Christopher, it's a pleasure. And Ram as well. And to everybody, we hope we see you on the inside. And that's it. Have a great one. Bye.
The mass scale transformation of humanity, the fully empowered, conscious, and cooperative species. It's something we live and breathe. We have a mission here. We want to help build the decentralized finance infrastructure of the future. What is your mission? Hey, it's Brian Rose from London Real. How would you like to join my investment club, where I teach you everything you need to know about early stage token and equity investments? Look, right now is one of the greatest times to invest in human history. We've got AI happening. We've got the metaverse that we built on AI, and all of this needs the blockchain, which is what we specialize in here. In my investment club, it's a 12-month program, 3 months of coursework where I teach you all the basics. I want to talk about how capital isn't enough, and I want to talk about how you can upgrade your arsenal of influence in a variety of ways. I teach you how to do basic due diligence. I teach you how to go to a conference and come back with 10 deals. Just go in, bam, 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 bam. This is super exciting, and we're able to do this here at London Real because I speak with some of the greatest guests on the planet. We have an amazing network, and we also have a structure to actually invest money in these deals. Just as a strategy in your business, just keep it simple, especially the first time you do it, but do it at the same time. I'm telling you, this is an incredible opportunity. I've got the best community in the business right now, 75 people from around the world in over 20 countries that are alongside, all investing together. And you can learn and network with the best in the business. No decision is much worse than a no. Something, action, action, action. The clock is ticking. If you're interested in this, click a link below and set up a call with one of my team. They'll walk you through what's happening, the opportunities, the requirements. But I plan on working with this group for the next 10 years, and we're going to do massive things here. And I hope you are a part of it. Click on the link and let's do this.